Story 1. All the broken stuff, the things they ruin. I thought when they got older, I would be able to finally have nice furniture. Mine are teenagers now, and I've slowly replaced some old broken, cheap Target and Walmart furniture pieces with nicer, more expensive things. Not even like restoration hardware, I'm just talking about nicer than Walmart. My new $400 set of end tables for the living room already have water stains on top, right next to the coaster tray. I bought a new $500 TV stand, and someone left a huge scratch across the front when they crashed the coffee table into it, moving it to play Just Dance. I've learned my lesson, no more nicer things until they move out. I'm so tired. Story 2. The amount of money sports take. Even if it is not a travel team, your child still needs practice equipment, shoes, and pads. Game nights usually mean takeout due to time constraints. They will be interested in camps for said sport. You will spend extra time and gas to go to away games. If you end up in a travel team or sport, now factor in hotels and eating out then. Story 3. The money wasted on food and snacks. They are embarrassed to eat certain things at school because they want to be like their friends and eat chips. You stock up on something and then a few weeks later they do not like it anymore. And then also shoes, you pretty much need a different size every season every year. Story 4. You need to replace spoons and forks far more than makes any sense. Anything school-related, public school fees are increasing and supplies. Ultimately, you will have to run to the store to buy something your child waits to tell you about that is needed the next day. My daughter went to college and all my utility bills decreased. Story 5. Buying raincoats they refuse to wear. Both of mine prefer to get soaked rather than put on a coat. We have even gone to shops to get them to pick the coat out, but they still will not wear it. Story 6. Children are the gift that keeps on taking. It never ends from birth to whenever. My 3 boys are in their early 30s to late 20s and are still expensive. Granted, my grandchildren are now spoiled and enjoy grandpa's generosity, but I still get the large part of the dinner check and occasional bar bill when the boys visit. All things considered, I think they are worth it. They haven't been to jail and have decent jobs. Signed, Proud Dad and Grandpa. Story 7. Good. We all know people eat, but growing kids and teens go through growth spurts or picky phases where they only eat specific foods. Oh my God, the expense. Things they destroy accidentally. The cost of experiences, like taking them to children's museums and theme parks. Birthday party costs can be wild, even for simple parties. All the holidays. Easter baskets, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. The internet made them all a thing now. Story 8. The cost of sending your kids to free public school. Ours has school uniforms, which aren't cheap but are at least tax deductible. Then there are flyers coming home every week for snack sales or fundraisers, pictures and t-shirt sales that they can wear on special days. Send some money, and they can have a free dress day. Buy a ceiling tile to paint. We might put it up in the lobby. Send money for ice cream day. Then it's snack sales again and another fundraiser. Story 9. Fruit. They will eat so much. The berry phase is real, however, they suddenly hit a time where bananas will be in 1 week and out the next. To save yourself from wasting a bunch of bananas, you have to eat 5 in one go. Birthday parties. Your kid's social circle is bigger than yours. There was a point where we were at a Laser Quest, bowling alley, or village hall every weekend. Cards and presents for each. Birthday parties again. Of course, you feel compelled to have parties. Why not? Your kid is awesome and deserves all the things you didn't get. Honestly, sometimes it's better letting soft play handle the food and party bags. Worth the money. Wellies or Wellington boots. I don't know if it's the time of year my kids hit growth spurts, but I can never get one pair to last a winter. Story 10. Sports and other extracurricular activities can get very expensive. If you are in the United States, medical and dental bills outside of the standard routine appointments can also add up. Story 11. Anything you want to do is now more expensive because you have to bring the kids along. I have 3 kids. If my wife and I want to travel, that's 5 airline tickets. And have you tried to find a reasonably priced hotel room with sleeping space for 5? They're all for 2 people or 4 people, so you have to book multiple rooms or book an Airbnb. Story 12. For me, it's not the immediate cost but the long term for things. For some reason, my kids always get sick or end up in urgent care or the emergency room when I am at my most burnt out financially and mentally. Every time. It hurts when you miss work because at 7:30 your kid is miserable and it's post-COVID. So you stay home. But the poop they take at 9:30, after you finally convince them to try, has miraculously cured them. These end up being the best days, but still, it messes with income and career long-term. Story 13. The millions of costs that come with just going to school. The fundraisers, the extracurricular activities, the book fair, teacher gifts, school supplies, and field trip fees is constant. Story 14. All the wasted food, misplaced items you replace, fees for everything. Eating out costs, especially when they do not eat what they ordered. Your sex life, your mental health, your free time. Story 15. If your child has special needs, a disability, or a lifelong medical condition that requires treatment or medication, you don't expect that when you're trying to get pregnant. Story 16. Not a parent but work around labor and delivery. Childbirth risks to the mother and baby or babies and possible defects, despite all preventative measures. Story 17. Edit to add. I am the oldest sister of 4 and a new mom to a 2-month-old with mild health issues. For context. Extracurriculars. Sports, music, clubs, organizations. If you have multiple children and are struggling, it's like you have to pick and choose which child gets to do what they want. Do you know how fast baby formula or a milk supply goes when a baby is cluster feeding? Oh my gosh. And formula is so expensive. You are spending $25 to $70 every couple of days on a 30 to 32 ounce can of it if a baby is eating every single hour. This cost increases even more if your baby has an allergy and needs specially made formula. Hospital stays, and not because of the baby. My baby stayed 8 days in a children's hospital in an unfamiliar city to us when she was 2 weeks old. They only provided me a small tray of already cold food because I breastfed. No drink, by the way. They did not feed my husband, and hospital food is unpleasant. They offered Subway downstairs and a cafeteria in the adult hospital next door. Want to know how much it cost every time we ate? $35 to $40 for a full meal for 2 people. If people did not send us care packages, we would have either had to split a really small and unpleasant tray that was for me or spend $35 to $40 a day for 8 days straight. Ridiculous. You could only get meal vouchers if a child stayed long-term. If you did not have a baby shower and do a diaper raffle, do you know how hard it is to trial different brands of diapers and wipes? One wrong move, intense rash. Then you have to buy a whole new pack. I am thankful we had an abundance of diapers and wipes at my baby shower, so we could go through all the brands without buying them first. If my baby had a bad reaction, I would simply donate the rest of the diapers and open a box of the ones that worked for her. There are several more. Children are so expensive. Story 18. My daughter lost about 5 pairs of mittens one year. She broke a set of headphones, replaced them, and then broke the new ones. My son cannot avoid spilling his drink. Everything in a cup with him gets spilled, milk, juice, whatever. No one eats. We throw out so much food they take 2 bites of, even food they ask for. I have no idea how many apples have had 2 bites and were then tossed. I bought a pair of running shoes he liked, only for him to change his mind later and refuse to wear them ever again. Tape, scissors, and pens all disappear. Story 19. Honestly, what I notice is the time spent not just watching them and making sure they are alive and accounted for, but also cleaning up their mess or helping them get dressed when they will only wear pajamas. Story 20. The fact that we are feeding and raising a child, he is 3.5 during one of the worst inflation spikes. Our budget is very tight, but we stick to it. Like eating at a restaurant? Nope. That extra money goes for a date afternoon with my husband or something fun as a family. Story 21. The mental gymnastics you have to do with them to get them to do the thing. Whatever it is, it's always, you have to do the thing because you need to learn to take care of yourself. But I don't want to take care of myself. Well, it's mostly me doing the taking care part right now. I just need you to learn to do this by yourself. What if I don't? Then that means I'm failing at being mom. Do you want me to fail? Shakes head. Okay. Please do the thing. Fine. Repeat tomorrow in a slightly different manner. Story 22. The real hidden fee of keeping up with expectations. All of their friends are having expensive birthday parties at the best event places, so you feel pressured to return the favor as they paid for your child to attend. Their friends are into sports, especially travel clubs. The gas money, event fees, equipment, uniforms, meals, hotels, and your time add up quickly. Their friends wear only the most expensive clothes and jewelry and have the newest phones, so your child comes home upset because they are made fun of for being poor. Even if you give your child everything and really try to provide an excellent life, they may have no concept of hard work or appreciation for what you have done to make it so good for them. Until they are in their mid-20s, and you get a random call where they thank you for everything you did for them and apologize for not appreciating it back then. Story 23. I'm not going to read this so I can believe that once he starts public school and I can stop paying for daycare, I'll be free. Except for the berries. Story 24. Every item I owned was destroyed by my children over the course of raising them. Every item I had saved from my childhood. Every piece of furniture. Every nice thing we bought and kept safe was sought out when we weren't looking and accidentally broken. I learned over this period to lock things I wanted to keep safe in a steel chest and keep the key on me always. B. Let it go. If it broke, was lost, stolen, or whatever, just let it go and do without. Story 25. The amount of squash that gets lost to the countertop whenever they make themselves a drink. And it can't just be the cheap stuff either. No, only the finest Vimto will do in this household. Story 26. Their favorite characters or themed toys. Bluey snacks that are twice as expensive. That Spider-Man shirt that he'll love but is 3 times as expensive as any other generic shirt. Plates, cups, toothbrushes, shoes, notebooks, and coloring books, you name it. They all have intellectual property licensing fees. Toys. If you own one Paw Patrol toy, you must own them all. And guess what happens when they suddenly move on to a new favorite theme or character? The old one is instantly discarded, and you start the process all over again. Story 27. Birthday gifts for other kids. For a couple of years, I swear my kid went to a birthday party every week, sometimes 2. Gift, card, wrap, bows. I bought a bunch of toys on clearance and never ended up using them. Probably because I hid them from my kid and forgot where I hid them. Great news is a few of them are now rare, my son is 18 now, and are worth 10 times what I paid. I tell him the unopened toys are going to be his inheritance. Story 28. Birthday parties. Unless you want 12 little kids tearing through your house and creating a mess, you're looking at a few $100s per child for a party. And not just your kids' birthday parties. My 2 kids average 2 to 4 parties per month, and gift giving in our neighborhood is in the $50 per gift range. Also school expenses. Sure, a backpack and supplies and a pair of indoor shoes are expected, and a lunch bag, water bottle, and weather-appropriate clothes, but it's the other things that add up. Donations for fundraisers, pizza days, headphones for the classroom, flashlights, yes. Field trips, outfits or accessories for 25 different spirit days, book fair, school photos, teacher gifts at Christmas and the end of the year. My kids have had up to 8 teachers between the 2 of them at times. Supplies for science projects, etc. Never ends. Health-related expenses. Appointments of all kinds. Even with insurance, we still pay out of pocket, gas, parking, co-pays, tests that aren't covered, doctor's notes, over-the-counter medications like acetaminophen and allergy pills, cough syrup, eye drops, Band-Aids, sunscreen, rash creams, etc. Story 29. Back in 2006, when Cyclone Larry hit northern Queensland, bananas went from $1.99 per kilogram to over $15 per kilogram. Yeah, right. So just don't buy them. Our young autistic son insisted on having his daily banana, which really hit the family food budget. Story 30. Replacing lost coats, gloves, hats, and scarves. Replacing school supplies like pencils and notebooks. Shoes had to be bought almost every 6 months because feet grow fast. Also, there are too many school days off during the year. As a full-time working single parent, I had to find someone to watch my child, which meant paying a babysitting fee. Story 31. Buying their friends food and snacks. I don't mind it at all, but when your son and his friends get hungry, they get hungry. I went to the In-N-Out drive-thru today with my son and his 3 friends, And the employee who took our order said into her headset, 16 down. If you know. Story 32. When my son was 2 and just learning to walk, he grabbed the coffee table to steady himself, knocking over a scalding cup of coffee. I had a split second to either snag my laptop or my son away from the liquid. I grabbed my son. The laptop was ruined. The frequency with which you will have to replace things in your house because they've been destroyed increases when you have kids. It's not even malicious. They're just little disaster beings, and you have to live with the knowledge that they'll do things like microwave spoons because they don't know better, or lie down with a tummy ache and vomit all over your couch, or helpfully pour their own milk and just spill the entire container. In a house with a kid or kids, nothing will last as long as it used to, especially berries. As several other parents have said, berries are like an addiction to children, and you will find yourself buying fresh berries multiple times a week. It's like $5 for a tiny little pack, and your kid will consume them in under a minute.